to the block and you can shop. Better watch out, cause the cops high. We shoot shots if we see the eye. You can't ball if you ain't got no hustle. I keep my grind on, fuck the struggle.
What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, guys, check it out. We're talking Anthony Joshua wants all the smoke. And I mean all the smoke. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. So look, man. What's up, everybody? Martin Machine in the building. What's good? IBT Sports. Yes, sir. The donut shop. Not today, though, but it's just a regular live. Got that link in the chat in case y'all want to jump on. But just been following Anthony Joshua a little bit, and I like the way he talking. Boxing Monster in the building. What's good with you, fam? Jacko Davis, what's up, bro? Kevin in the building, batshit crazy. What's up with y'all? And I like the way Joshua talking. Now, listen, man. All of these boxers, a lot of them are doing a whole lot of talking right now. That's just what they're doing. The Prince, what's good with you? Eric, what's good? What's up, fam? Brian Harkin, I see you out there. What's up, Brian? So a lot of these guys are doing a whole lot of talking right now. They're bored. They're at home. So, we could take with a grain of salt and throw it over your fucking shoulder what some of these guys are saying, because you don't believe that once the smoke clears and they get back to boxing that they're going to make these fights happen. But some guys that talk, I pay attention to, like when Bud Crawford talks or Canelo or Joshua, or, these guys are really interested in doing what they say they're going to do. Boxing God, Peace D Jeff 504 in the building. Appreciate you, fam. Really appreciate that, man. So Joshua was talking about Tyson Fury. He said he would love to make that happen. He said, go over there and tell Deontay Wilder you got bigger fish to fry. 4-belt undisputed, and to tell you the truth, look, man, I think let's be honest, we talked about this yesterday. Deontay Wilder ain't taking no step aside money. But I think Joshua, if that was to happen, that Joshua would seriously try to get Pulev to step aside. But here's something interesting. All of that step aside nonsense is not going to happen, because Bob Arum, and we know Bob Arum says a lot of silliness. Teddy Perkins, is he still fighting Pulev next? Yes, Joshua is fighting Pulev next. What's up, Teddy Perkins? John Cable in the building. What up, Soccer Training Club in the building? What's good, Soccer Training Club? Brian Harkin said Joshua's always said he wanted to be great. Yes, and he's trying to prove that. Black and Brown Boxing in the building. What's up, bro? I hope Fury and Joshua get it on. Yeah, me too. Me too, IBT. Quietly, but he hasn't always said it. Yeah, well, he's saying it loud and proud right now, Brian Harkin. He wants that smoke. He wants all that smoke. Big up the chat shit. Joshua is always about chasing dreams, undisputed. When he's focused and dedicated, he takes his craft seriously, and indeed, bad shit. This Gretna Maven had phone is charged. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Charge it up and click that link. You're welcome up here. Jacko Davis, I appreciate you. First, don't know, finally living it up like Ja Rule. Yeah, man. My man, Ring IQ just talking about hip hop, man. D Smoke an idiot. Nah, man. Smoke is an idiot when I decide to call him an idiot. You know what I mean? Most of the time on here, Smoke took the things to heart yesterday. Eric, what's up with you, fam?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro? I'm talking Anthony Joshua this morning. So I'm gonna get back to the chat, everybody. So Willie Boy slip and move. What's up, fam? Joshua was talking about, telling Fury to go over there and remember that what we were talking about yesterday, the whole step aside nonsense. But it ain't gonna happen But here's something interesting that I wanted to bring into all of this too. Bob Arum, and we know Bob Arum talks a lot of nonsense, but Bob Arum says that he is looking forward to Tyson Fury fighting Pulev for all 4 belts because Pulev's going to go in there and knock Joshua out. Bob Arum, boy, I tell you something. Big guys, quite a call. What you think about that, Eric?
Yeah, well, Bob always sticks by his guys, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He always sticks by his guys, and so he should. So he should be talking about Pulev versus Fury. If Pulev's his guy and he's putting him in there with Joshua, that's the fight he should be talking about. Because if you're putting your guy in there against someone and then just dismissing your guy completely and talking about the guy he's about to fight and another one of your fighters, then you're not really doing your job as a promoter.
No, black and brown smoke. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
So I don't blame him, but Bob always does this.
What's up with your son? Yeah. I'm impressed though with the way Joshua was talking because he, in the same interview, he said he also said that the Fury and Joshua fight is the biggest thing smoking in boxing right now. I tend to agree with that. I would personally want to see Crawford Spence. I want to see that more. I ain't even gonna lie, but you can't deny that a heavyweight bout for all 4 belts is definitely the biggest fight. I mean, Monster knew he's getting ready to go for all 4 belts. Josh Taylor and Ramirez could go for all 4 belts, but the most important fight for all 4 belts would definitely be Fury Joshua. So I can't argue with
that. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Especially how Fury just won as well. How Fury just beat Wilder. It's made the fight it's made it even more mouth-watering for fans because now fans are like, oh, Fury can fight like this. What's Joshua going to do if Fury fights like that against him? So for me, it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, no doubt. Iron Called in the building. What's up, Iron Called? My brother in this basketball thing, Lewis Sports Network. If y'all into that basketball, WWE, make sure y'all go check out my man Lewis Sports Network. But I agree with that, Eric. I agree with that. Bob Arum, you're right. You gotta back your guys, but of course we know that would be a fucking dream for that to happen because Fury, in my opinion, is going to beat much easier than he'll beat Joshua, if he can even beat Joshua. That fight right there is just extremely too close. I don't think it's no way. I give Pulev a chance of beating Joshua about as much chance as I give Wilder of beating Fury. In my eyes, those 2 fights are foregone conclusions. Joshua's going to beat Pulev and Fury's going to beat Wilder. Oh shit, man. Hey Angel, I appreciate that, man. Actual Facts Boxing. My man Angel Santos dropped a $10 super chat. I appreciate you for that, Angel. Good morning to everybody. Salute D Jefferson. Stay bringing the truth. Fire UGC. Goddamn right. UGC, baby. Underground community. We all about that truth. Appreciate the Angel. So now we move to what Joshua was saying about Dillian White. He said that he offered Dillian White a fight and Dillian White didn't accept it. He said, but when, he didn't say if, he said, but when I have all 4 belts, then Dillian White has no choice but to come to me because he wants his hand on that WBC belt so bad it's going to be mine. So White can come over here and get this smoke too. Like Anthony Joshua, man, that motherfucker won all that heat, bro. You know what I'm saying? He wants all of that heat. He talked about Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? I think I seen somebody in the comment section say that I'm not looking past Alexander Usyk. Let me find that comment right quick. Brian Harkin. Okay. Brian says, I think people are looking past Alexander Usyk, and I'm not saying he's the best, but I think he's a hard fight for anyone in the heavyweight division. And Brian, I tend to agree with that. The thing with Usyk is we have to find out two things, two very serious things about Usyk. If he has enough to deter these top heavyweights, and if he can take what they're delivering. That's the thing. Can he take that Joshua power? Hell, can he take that Deontay power, Dillian White power, Andrew Ruiz power? That we don't know, you know. And can he deliver enough to deter them, Brian? If he can't do that, you know, the footwork ain't gonna save him, bro.
Yeah, well, we know he's about, well, he's signed to fight Derek Chisora, and that's a perfect fight for him in my opinion. That's a perfect fight because you know Derek, he will box rings around Derek Chisora. Let's not get it twisted. But we know Derek Chisora will keep coming and he will throw punches, and he will land. He will land. He doesn't stop. He's like a machine. That guy. He doesn't stop. He still comes forward. So. It's a perfect, I say fringe world level fight for him.
Yeah. Justin Trouble in the building. What's up, Justin? Appreciate you. Yeah, man. This fight with Chisora is sort of like Ryan's fight with Linares. You know, he's gonna tell us what we need to see from this guy, sort of like Daniel Dubois' fight with Joe Joyce. These are the fights we need to see these guys in, because these fights answers the questions. I said before, like with Ryan Garcia, if he goes in there and does to Linares what I believe he will, I say he beats Tank Davis. No questions asked. If he goes in there and struggles with Jorge Linares, then not so much. So that fight's going to tell me everything. And it's the same thing with Alexander Usyk. If he goes in there and beats Chisora the way I believe he will, I have no more questions about him at heavyweight, and I put him right up in there in contention. But if he goes in there and gets wobbled or stumbles or have a tumultuous fight with Derek Chisora, not so much, because you have to be able, in my opinion, you have to be able to move past Derek Chisora convincingly if we're going to talk about you dealing with Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Wilder, you know what I mean? You have to be able to get past Derek Chisora convincingly. It can't be a tumultuous fight, because if it's a tumultuous fight, then I can't say that Usyk is going to be up here with these top 5 guys. I can't say that, because Derek Chisora is clearly not a top 5 guy.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, because Derek Chisora just lost twice to, say, the number 4. I'd put him number 4 heavyweight in the world. Right. So if you can't get past Derek Chisora, you ain't ready from anyone from 1 to 5. You're not ready. You have to
get past him convincingly.
Convincingly, yeah.
This battle, tumultuous 12-round fight where, you know, like a majority split decision, forget about it. You can't fuck with those top heavyweights. But if he has like an impressive unanimous decision, or for some reason he stops him, then fucking right. We give Usyk, I put him right there in contention with those guys.
Yep.
Solely from the Chisora fight, because we know he has the skill sets, and I just need a couple of questions answered. That's all.
The question I've got, Annie Danson, is he going to be able to back people like them up? If he can back Derek Chisora up, and you can physically see Derek Chisora going back because he's being caught with a punch or he's being hurt by some punches, then I'll be like, okay, he belongs up there. But he's a cruiserweight, and he's not even a big cruiserweight at that.
Right. So and that's why I was like, bro, he's got to have something to deter these guys. He doesn't have to have knockout power. Everybody gets drunk off, well, you got to knock them out.
No, you don't. You just got to be able to
power, but he has to have something to deter them, something to make them, know that they can't come inside and have their way with him. He has to have something to keep them at bay. If he has enough to do that, that's all he needs, because he's such an excellent boxer. He has spectacular footwork. If he has that amount of power to do that, then that gives him everything he needs, in my opinion. You know, because Fury doesn't have spectacular power, but he has the other attributes, and he does have enough to say, hey, you're not just running up in here. You know what I mean? So, but Brian Harkin, that was for you. That's what I think about UC and concerning Joshua Fury or any of them. But Joshua said, all of them can get the smoke, bro. And I think that after this Pulev fight, we're gonna see Joshua take this road to greatness. See, like some of these fighters, Joshua is 30 years old, guys. So he's not old. He's in the prime, but he ain't no fucking spring chicken either. And you don't want to regress from what he's done. He's came off of a loss, gotten his title back. You don't want to regress. You want to keep moving up here. The Pulev fight is a mandatory, so no one can argue with that. But after you satisfy that mandatory, you want to keep fighting great because Joshua has ambitions, and he's showing he has ambitions to be labeled the greatest British heavyweight ever. And if he gets 4-belt undisputed and continues to fight great, he will have a claim for that case. So, I mean, the guy's seeking greatness, bro. And that's what I see in him.
He's always been seeking greatness.
Yeah.
I believe. His energy has always been the same. I think the Andy Ruiz loss, it set him back maybe a couple of steps, having to go back and win that. And it's put a lot of question marks on how he fights and his chin and whatnot. But
yeah, real quick, let me answer this from Kevin right quick. Kevin, I'm probably going to try to crank up another live, but I'm supposed to be doing game night tonight. So we'll see, but I appreciate you coming, bro. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I think the Andrew Ruiz loss put him back a couple of steps, but in the grand scheme of things, he's still on the same path because he's gone back, he's revenged that loss convincingly, and he's just come back into the same path of he wants undisputed, which even if he beat Andy Ruiz the first time, he still wouldn't be undisputed now because that fight still wouldn't have happened.
Right.
In my opinion.
Right. And Gun Rights Mafia in the building. What's up? Speaking of game night, Gun Rights, I need some give back on that 2K. You need to come in. And everybody else too, man. We got to get this game night cranking. If you got Xbox or PlayStation, they have crossplay on a couple of the games I bought. So we gotta get this in. I don't want Gun Rights beating me up all the time. I'm gonna beat you anyway eventually, Gun Rights.
What game are you playing tonight? What game is it?
I'm gonna get with the back. I'm gonna play both of them probably. I'm gonna do a little Mortal Kombat and then get with the 2K. I'm waiting on the freaking FIFA to come, but when that comes, we're gonna throw that in the mix too. Get some FIFA in there. But yeah, bro. Like I said, man. When it comes to after this Pulev fight, I think that Joshua is going to live up to his word. He's going to try to get these fights. And another thing too, I had a whole IBFP boxing loop, and we used to go back and forth about this, the greed factor, like the wanting too much money. But now Eddie Hearn, since he's linked up with the Zone, bro, they're offering great paydays. So Joshua's going to get these fights, bro. He's going to land these fights. They ain't going to be too much. Deontay Wilder is doing the stupid haggle thing, but, he really never really wanted that fight. That's why he was haggling so much. I think a lot of these other guys, yeah, they want the money, but, first offer. A lot of these guys are going to jump on this shit first offer, bro.
No, Dillian White turned the fight down simply because I believe he thinks he's got a better chance of beating Wilder than he has Joshua, and if he gets beat by Joshua, that Wilder mandatory spot went away.
Right. Well, he's not. That's like just like Joshua said. He's his plans are to get all the belts. So he said he's going to give Dillian White another chance. He said he wants to handle business with Fury, get the belts, and he, as a matter of fact, he said he'll fight Wilder anyway. Now I think after Wilder gets beaten up in this trilogy, and that's right, after Wilder gets beaten up in this trilogy, I think it's a good chance that he retires. We never see AJ Wilder again. Now, it would be a smart thing, at least concerning the money, for Wilder to go ahead and take that AJ fight, even if he does lose the Fury. Because think about it, that motherfucker will still get paid a lot of money because a lot
Yeah,
of
if it
people still want to see AJ knock Wilder the hell out. And then there'll be a lot of Wilder fans that think he has a chance to regain some type of glory. So that fight would still be pretty big. And Wilder, that could be a good paycheck going out the door. I don't know whether he'll do that or not. Samuel Shaw in the building. What's up, Samuel Shaw? Jedi Kyle in the building. What's up, Toby Bartlett? Appreciate you guys coming in. Samuel Shaw. Samuel, I did a community post on who thinks Virgil Ortiz can beat Errol Spence right now. Okay, I did a community post on there just for you, Samuel Shaw, because you said nobody thinks that Virgil Ortiz can beat Errol Spence right now. You said nobody thinks that. Well, Samuel, I just want to report to you that in that community post, my friend, 56 to 44%. 56% said that Virgil Ortiz beats Spence right now. So less people said that Spence wins, Samuel Shaw, since you said that I'm making stuff up and nobody's saying that. Go look at the motherfucking community post, Samuel Shaw. Yeah. Samuel Shaw, Boxing Boss, always fucking with me, guys. So I gotta give it to him every time I can, you know. What's up, Carl?
Yo, peace, brother D. What going on, man? And my brethren there, I forgot the IG name there. What his name?
Eric, that's my man, Eric. From out
yeah, what's good?
Yes, Eric. Peace, man.
Peace.
So what you think?
Yeah, what a conversation, man.
We talk about Anthony Joshua this morning. That man want all the smoke. He talking about telling Fury to go over there and tell Wilder, don't waste time, take the step aside money and let us get this fight on. He's talking about even if it doesn't happen, he'll fight Wilder and Dillian White afterwards. He want that Usyk smoke. Like Joshua's on 1,000 right now. What you think?
I don't think we'll ever see Deontay Wilder fight Anthony Joshua. Not once in history. It's not gonna happen. I don't know what the issue is. I don't think Wilder wants to fight Joshua at all. I don't know what his problem is. However, I think Eric said it. Dillian turned down a fight with Joshua. Dillian has a way of complaining about things and talking shit. But Dillian needs to understand, bro, you can't haggle too much with Anthony Joshua. You don't have nothing Anthony Joshua wants. He don't have to haggle with you.
Especially when he's already knocked you out.
Exactly. I don't have to negotiate with you.
He should have knocked him out inside 2 rounds anyway. It was Anthony Joshua being boastful and young and inexperienced, just joking about. But if Anthony Joshua was on full-on alert like he is now, he would have finished Dillian White inside 2 rounds. Dillian White was lucky he didn't get finished inside 2 rounds.
Yeah, Joshua was kind of playing around and doing a bunch of nonsense in the ring.
Exactly.
In terms of Joshua looking for greatness, I mean, nothing about Joshua tells me he hasn't all of it. This is a man who said he took up boxing because he thought he would go to jail and he didn't want to get beat up in jail. And he took up boxing and became a gold medalist. What about this man tells me he's not looking for greatness? That's been his whole life. So I don't have no reason to doubt. I haven't always been a Joshua fan. I came around to being a Joshua fan. You know what I'm saying? And because you can't deny somebody who's driven by wanting to be excellent at what they do. So I don't have nothing bad to say about Anthony Joshua. Wish him the best.
Yeah, he's always proved and always said he's looking to strive to be better in life in anything he does. So for me, being a champion so young. From the time he's got the championship, he's not had a soft touch really, fighting wise.
Right.
Obviously, Charles Martin was what it was, but it was still fighting a champion.
Wood Stay Real TV says AJ wants to achieve greatness. Ha ha ha. Wood, I dropped that link for you, Wood. Come break it down for us. I like Wood, man. If y'all ain't listening to Wood, Stay Real TV, go listen to him. That brother is busy as a fucking bee. He drops, I don't know, anywhere from 8 to 11 videos a day. Y'all go check out Wood. He's got some pretty interesting perspectives on some things, but Wood's a good guy. But Wood, that link is in there for you, bro, if you want to come break that down, because I think that Joshua, I will admit, I've never been Anthony Joshua fan. I'm a fan of Tyson Fury. A while ago, before I, got done with his foolishness, I was actually a fan of Deontay Wilder. Now, I never disliked Anthony Joshua. I always thought that he was a good champion because I love boxing first. It's just I was never really a fan of his, but I like what I hear from him, and I do like the way he's been moving. He's been moving out of all the heavyweights. You can't say that Anthony Joshua is not the one that's been moving to achieve greatness. Wilder, never trying to unify, and Dillian White taking money fights over fights where he could, because we got to give Dillian White some heat for his transgressions as well. He could have made some moves, taking some other fights to put him in position, but he decided to go for the money instead. Tyson Fury with all his indiscretions, the drugs and the depression and shit. So when we look at the grand scheme of things and all of these guys, it is Anthony Joshua that has been moving in a way to say, yeah, I want to be great. And you can't take that away from him. I've always seen that in him. But I'm a Fury fan. You know what I mean?
Piggyback off of that, you look at the top three guys when you look at Joshua, Fury, and Wilder. You look at how, from when they became a champion, what they've done the first time becoming a champion. Fury, he instantly vacated or got stripped or whatever and went on a 3-year hiatus. Wilder has fought nobody till he fought so-called Luis Ortiz, the boogeyman, which took him how many years to fight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Joshua, when he got his belt, he instantly went to unify. Within, I think, 3 fights, he was unifying the division. So you look at the energy of the top 3 guys, he is the only one who has that energy to be great and not just protect themselves, because Fury went off for 3 years. He came back, he fought 2 people, and then I give him credit for fighting Deontay Wilder. But that still took him over 3 years to do from the first time of becoming a champion. Deontay Wilder has not fought anybody till he fought Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, it can't. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Paul.
No, it kind of is just what it is. Like, if we're not going to deal with feelings and we're not going to deal with emotion, you have to look at what somebody actually does. You cannot tell me, and this is coming from me, who used to be a person who was backing Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me after all them years, you was around with all kind of people back in 2015, and you ain't even. How is it possible that you never got yourself into a unification match? Your management never found some way to finagle you into a unification match at no point? That's crazy to me. So I can't look at this from a point of view like, oh, I just like this person. Look at what the person actually does. That's what we used to look at, what a person does. No, it's emotions and I like this person or whatever. The man actually did it. As Eric said, people talk about like Fury left for his 3 years. Who knows what could have happened in them 3 years if he had stayed on? Who knows what Tyson Fury should have been? You know what I'm saying? Being a champion, ain't just about in the ring. It's about maintaining yourself and pushing yourself. This man pushed himself in 21 fights, unified the division twice. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it's for me like the Deontay Wilder thing. People are saying Joshua bought his belt. They paid Charles Martin what, 7 or 8 million for that belt. Charles Martin was with PBC.
Exactly.
PBC could have bought that belt from him for Wilder. Just buy the belt.
You know what? You know what's funny about that? Wilder had the opportunity to get that first, and a lot of people don't know that. But outside of that, though, Charles Martin, like they say that Anthony Joshua bought this belt off of Charles Martin. Okay, I've heard that shit before, right? What about all the other fucking belts, bro? You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who collected multiple belts, and y'all want to sit there and pay attention to one belt. Let's not act like Terrence Crawford didn't get one of his belts easily. And I'm not talking about at 147. I'm talking about prior in their career. Let's not act like a lot of these greats don't have an easy touch or sometimes, not such a hard fight to get a belt. Look at fucking Tank Davis. The way he got, I don't want to hear this shit about Anthony Joshua buying his belt from. He collected multiple belts. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, you know what I mean? I don't even listen to that nonsense.
Yeah, I agree. Like getting the first belt, the only one who literally got the belt by fighting a hard fight was Fury. But then Fury more or less refused to give a rematch. He just went off. But Deontay Wilder didn't win his belt off anybody good. Fucking Stavern.
And he didn't defend it well either.
Right.
No.
He didn't defend it well either. That's the thing. Like, Martin Ramos in the building, real quick, guys. Martin Ramos in the building, PED in the building. What's up with you guys? John Cable, I think I hollered you out. And Martin Machine is on the panel with us. What's up, Mark? Where you at, Martin Machine?
What's up?
Wherever you at, you got bad signal. But back out and come back in, Mark. That might help. But yeah, Anthony Joshua.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. What's up with you, fam?
Oh, what's up, man? I just wanted to come on and give a shout out real quick, man. Yeah, to say what's good, man. And
so
shout out to Deep Jeff, Iron Kong, Eric, and
so since you on, what do you think about this whole Anthony Joshua? What I'm saying is, like, I like the way he's sounding. Remember, I'm a fan of Fury. Okay, well. Yeah, he'll probably be back. Yeah, he had bad reception. My man, hold up. My man, Big Faces Worldwide up in the building. What's up, Big Will? Appreciate you coming through. They go, Ma. Big Will, if you want to come on for a second or two, if you can, I'll drop that link for you, fam. Appreciate you coming through, Big Will. You back?
Hey, I'm gonna jump off, right?
All right, Cone. Thanks, bro.
Peace, go.
You good now, Mar? Well,
I don't know, man. I'm out here Hoover Dam about to hit these steps, man. I just wanted to come on and get
you got Verizon? Because if you got Verizon, you ain't getting no reception out of Hoover Dam. You gotta have Verizon, dog. But Eric, until Mark gets his stuff straight, Eric, let me ask you this. After Anthony Joshua, and I say after Anthony Joshua goes in here and destroys Pulev, because I'm not even going to entertain Pulev. Forget about what Bob Arum says. I'm not fucking entertaining Pulev beating Anthony Joshua. Please. I'm not hearing that. So after he goes in here and beats Pulev, and you guys in the chat too, what do you guys think is next for Joshua?
I believe, well, it has to be either the undisputed or he's got another mandatory. That's his two options. Because he's mandatory, it has to be Usyk or Chisora, I'm guessing, the winner of that, or a undisputed fight. So that's his two options, really. That's all he can do. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was talking away on fucking mute, bro. Which one do you think would be first? Do you think that it would be
I believe it'll be the undisputed fight, because with boxing having more or less a year off with this pandemic, I think they will try and make it. Fury goes in there, beats Wilder again. It has to happen, because you would have thought the Wilder Fury and the Joshua Pulev fight will coincide with each other within, say, 2 to 3 weeks.
Right,
those fights will happen.
But do you think that? Because I mean, let's be honest, bro. I know that I'm pretty sure that my guy's willing because he said he'll box AJ's head all around the ring. Now I don't really believe that, but you know, Fury always talks shit. So I believe Fury's willing, and I believe AJ's willing. But I mean, goddamn, a 4-belt undisputed fight. We know that that's hard to achieve. Don't you think that there's a good possibility that the mandatory would be served first before we could ever get that? I mean, I know it's the biggest fight, and I know these guys are willing, but like, what's the odds of getting that so easily versus getting
the mandatory situation is the same for the WBC though as well. There, whoever wins that fight is in the same position because I believe the undisputed fight would happen. It wouldn't be a rematch no matter who wins because the winner will have to face either Dillian White in the very next fight or the undisputed fight, which only thing you're hanging on is the sanctioning bodies agreeing to it. That's the only thing that's stopping that undisputed fight after this fight.
WBC ain't fucking enforcing nothing, bro. And Anthony Joshua, let me tell you something about Mauricio Sulaiman. And of course, we know that the WBC plays favor and do whatever they can for the PBC, but this won't be a PBC situation because Dillian White is going to be the mandatory, which that's no PBC favor. You understand?
Yeah.
So when we look at the scope of it concerning the WBC, bro, Mauricio Sulaiman's going to be like, fuck that. You think he's going to strip Anthony Joshua? You know how much sanctioning fees is done off a percentage. So how much fucking money is he going to make off of AJ having that belt? And there's no narrative or motive for him to protect the PBC in this situation. So they're known for not enforcing a goddamn thing. They're not going to enforce the mandatory. You understand what I'm saying? So the WBC, you can take them out of the picture in this situation as far as putting any heat on Joshua. They're not going to take a chance to lose all of those fucking sanctioning fees off of this dude.
Yeah, but and also it's the WBA. What is the other one with Joshua versus Usyk? If Usyk gets through, but then again, them two, they're both promoted by Eddie Hearn, so something could happen.
All about what Bob Arum wants, so I don't think we got to worry about them either.
Well, that is true. That is true.
I mean? Like,
so for me, there's no reason for that fight not to happen. There's literally zero reason for that fight not to happen apart from politics. But I believe both fighters want it.
Stop the fight right here, or what's going to delay it, not stop it, and why? I kind of think that we would get the winner of Usyk Chisora first, and I'll tell you what it is. It's going to be money. Bob Arum is a greedy motherfucker, dog. So the more money he can get for Fury in that fight, the more money he can get for himself. Fury is already talking that 50-50 foolery. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but Eddie Hearn and Joshua has already come out to say that they're willing to do the 50-50 for that fight.
Yeah, that's true.
They are willing to do the 50-50 because at the end of the day, for me, Fury for me deserves 50-50 now anyway because his profile has made the fight bigger by beating Deontay Wilder like he did. So he goes in there and beats him again, then he 100% deserves 50-50 in that fight. 100%. I know there's the 3 belt versus the 1 belt, but you've also got to look at market value, and Fury's market value has gone up.
Well, you know I'm not going to fucking argue about my boy getting 50-50. You know, I got no fucking arguments about that one.
But that's my thing, though, because I was saying this when Wilder had the belt. If he goes out and he beat Tyson Fury convincingly, then he deserves a 50-50. But you can't be talking about 50-50 when you've never unified, you've never done anything as a champion, but defend against absolute coconuts and demand a 50-50.
Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that right quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you said something really
good,
and you brought up a good point. Now, of course, none of us think this is going to happen. I don't think anybody in the chat do. You don't. But let's say Deontay Wilder does go in there, lands that fucking right hand, puts Fury away, right?
Yeah.
Is there a 4th fight at play? Because I don't think he has the balls to go see Anthony Joshua. So
Yeah, I don't believe. I don't believe he ever. If
right, because it was a draw the first fight, Fury
Yep.
demolished him the next fight. He knocks Fury out the third fight. So that would be just some type of shit that the PBC would like to do for two reasons: keep away from Joshua, keep away from Joshua, and then that would kind of be a perfect reason. Like, you know, as a Fury fan, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that, he got lucky. Let's see the fourth fight. Then I would want to see. I don't want to see this third fight, but if Wilder got lucky and fucking landed, I'm definitely gonna want to see the fourth fight.
I think most people have the same thinking that when the fight with Joshua Wilder comes up, if there's anything to do with Wilder in negotiations, then as long as he's a champion, I don't believe he'll take the fight. I think he only takes the fight as a challenger because there's money in it. There's something there to gain, as in a belt. For me, he's not bothered about undisputed when it comes to fighting Joshua. Look at his energy. Look at his energy when Ruiz had the belts. Oh yeah, we can get it done now. When Joshua got it back, oh, I don't think it'll ever be done. So he never keeps the same energy unless he loses to Fury and then Joshua says, right, I'll give you a shot. That's the only time I reckon that fight will happen. And it comes to them unifying and Deontay Wilder being a champion and Joshua being a champion, I don't think it'll happen. I generally don't. D, you there?
Man, I was going off again on mute because my daughter was fixing something, so I was kind of putting it on. But I was saying that I do somewhat disagree with you on which fight we would get first, which is no big deal because it's all hypothetical. Yep. I don't know. But I think that we would get the Usyk and Chisora fight first just because I just can't imagine that 4-belt undisputed happens so easily. I think the Usyk Chisora fight happens much easier, and you can't complain. Like, yeah, we're gonna want the fucking 4-belt undisputed, but if he went and fought the winner of Chisora Usyk, especially if it's Usyk, like that's still a huge fight. If Usyk goes in there, that's still a huge fight, and you can't really complain. And he would be satisfying his mandatory. It'll give him enough time to negotiate and make the deal happen for 4-belt undisputed. And I just kind of think that we would get that one first. Ness Mendoza in the building. What's good with your Ness? My man Lawrence Williams then stepped up in here. What's up, Lawrence?
For me, if it does happen first, I have not got an issue with it. I've not got an issue with it whatsoever because the fight itself is a good fight. If Usyk wins, if Chisora wins, and it's a forced mandatory, then fair enough. You know, I mean, he has to get through Chisora, fine. But I believe he knocks Chisora out inside 1 or 2 rounds anyway. But if Usyk wins, then for me, I'm not bothered if that fight happens instead of the undisputed fight because he has to, and WBA mandate it and force it to happen. Then fair enough. But I can't see WBA forcing a Anthony Joshua versus Chisora fight. I really can't see it.
I don't see that either. I think that Chisora also would take the step aside money.
Yeah, he would because he's friends with AJ. He's always said when AJ was coming through, I think he said at one point like he's not interested in fighting AJ really.
Right. So I think and then look, it would be a nice pretty penny. The fucking step aside would probably be the money that he earns in a fight. You know what I'm saying? So he could fucking what he usually does, just sitting back and watching. So I'm pretty sure that they could work something out with him and take step aside.
And also, if you look at it this way, he could take the step aside money. Joshua could go into the undisputed fight. Whoever's the undisputed champion, they're only going to be undisputed champion for maybe 2 fights because they're going to have to vacate belts after that. So they'll only be for 2 fights at max.
2 fights max because the action and bodies are too fucking greedy. I agree with that 100%. It's going to be 2 fights maximum. Chantel Pittman, what's up with you, sis? Appreciate you coming in.
So then Chisora could take step aside money and then in a year's time or whatever, his last fight as a professional, probably retire after that, could fight a mandatory fight for a vacant title and become a world champion just before he retires. So it's possible. That's why he would take the step aside money, I believe.
Okay, so we talked about one thing that's almost impossible. Let's talk about the other thing that's almost impossible. Let's say that Pulev goes in there and he Anthony Joshua. Now, this is something, Augustin Rogue, what's up with your fam? Ness from the other account, my man Ness, my brother Ness hit me from all three. So let's say that Pulev goes in there and he beats Joshua. Now, here's something that's really shaky here. If that was to happen, this puts 2 losses on Joshua's record now, right? He got upset by 2 guys that wasn't supposed to beat him. So that would be one thing that's very significant. But where do we go from here? I think that Bob Arum, that fight happens immediately, Pulev Fury, because he's in a win situation now.
100%, because there's no rematch clause. So it does happen immediately.
It happened immediately. I don't think he wasted any time with that. Now, Bob Arum's the first to say, and he said it on a couple of occasions, that he doesn't even like unification matches because of what we were just talking about, the greed of the sanctioning bodies and having to pay all these sanctioning fees when you're holding all of those belts. But there's no way that they would rob Fury of that opportunity because, bro, he has like a 95% chance of getting all 4 belts if he has to face Pulev to do it.
Yep. Yeah, Pulev is Pulev is the easiest fight for them all anyway up there to gain a undisputed title. You have to
get extremely lucky, in my opinion, to beat Anthony Joshua. You would have to get really lucky and just like land almost a perfect punch because Pulev doesn't bring the attributes that Andy Ruiz brought to the table. The speed, the body work, and the good inside timing. He doesn't bring that to the table. So I really can't even devise a way that Pulev could win this fight. It would have to be a lucky punch. For the love of Pete, bro, close that door. It would have to be a lucky punch situation, you know. But you know that would. What about Joshua? If he goes in there and lose that fight versus Pulev, what happens? What happens with Joshua after that? Because that would put a big scar on him, bro.
What happens to Joshua after that is, well, I really don't know. I don't know where he goes from there, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, Joshua is going to have to go climb again because, let's be honest, none of the champions are going to give him, even if are going to give him a chance.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I can't. Hey, you know what, man? Boxing Monster, you're fucking right. Okay, so Boxing Monster said, I just finished a 32-ounce T-bone steak with 2 over easy eggs, 100. And you eat carrots and beans at these hours.
Boxing Monster beyond you, know.
Boxing Monster is crazy, bro. No, I didn't, bastard. I had grits and I had fish and grits this morning. How about that? Fish and grits. See this? Let me show you Boxing Monster. As a matter of fact, wasn't this morning because I woke up late. But I got proof because I just finished eating it. Boxing Monster is a funny guy. You see in that bowl, that was grits. Grits in that bowl. It's a funny guy. Oh shit, man. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Joshua, unlike a lot of these other fighters, even if he went in there and lost that fight against Pulev, yeah, it will scar him. So it will scar his. But he's the type of fighter that could bounce back. And look, becoming a 3-time champion, that would just boost them up even more. You know what I mean? That's what makes the greats the greats. They lose, they come back, and they win again.
Yeah,
champion again. So
that is true.
He has the potential to do that. Even if he got caught with a lucky punch by Pulev or whatever, he could come back and win belts because he could beat Fury, he can beat Wilder, he can beat Dillian White, he can beat Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? He can beat all of these guys. So it's not a situation like, in my opinion, what Wilder's in. When Wilder loses to Fury in this trilogy, he's pretty much finished. If Joshua loses, he's not finished. He's 30 years old, and he's still, even in a loss to Pulev, one of the top 5 heavyweights, in my opinion.
Yeah, but also you got to look at, if he loses to this, is where he goes from there tactically, because he can't be losing to fighters like that twice. You know, because he lost to Ruiz. He shouldn't have lost to Ruiz. Ain't not many people.
I don't put Pulev and Ruiz, like, the loss to Ruiz was a healthy, motivated, dedicated Ruiz, and a Ruiz like that is dangerous. And I've been saying that, like, he's dangerous to anyone. But so I don't think that, like, oh, he lost to a guy like that. He lost to a good heavyweight, one when dedicated and motivated. That's who he lost to. That and Ruiz that he lost to can beat most of these guys. Let's be honest.
That is true. But if you lose to Ruiz, who at the time, let's look at it at the time when he lost to the Ruiz, nobody gave Ruiz a chance at the time. When if he loses to Pulev, nobody's giving Pulev a chance. Even I think people are giving Pulev less of a chance than they did Ruiz. So that if Pulev goes and does him, then Joshua, he doesn't get a title shot unless he's mandatory.
Yeah,
because ain't nobody gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'll fight Anthony Joshua just for the sake of it."
Nah, get this smoke in the building. What's up? Get this smoke. Yeah, I agree with that. Man. I think.
But I don't believe he loses to him anyway. So it's one of them things where it's hard to say what I would think would happen, because that part doesn't really cross my mind that much, because I believe he goes in there and he stops Pulev. Especially after his last performance.
I just had to play it fair. We're gonna talk about Wilder beat Fury. We got to talk about if Pulev beat Joshua. I don't think that, like I said earlier, I don't think either of these guys wins those matches. I don't think that Wilder wins this match with Fury, and I think, I'm like 90% that Joshua knocks Pulev out.
I believe he knocks Pulev out. I believe he stops Pulev inside 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, I think at least with Fury Wilder, there's still some kind of mystery. I mean, we know Fury wins. The question is how Fury is going to win.
Well, my thing is,
we don't know who wins, because anything can happen. But we pretty much assume that Fury wins. The question really is how Fury wins. Does he box him for 12 rounds and put a masterclass on, or does he go in there and demolish him again like he did in the second fight, or does he do a combination of both? We don't know. So there's still some type of suspense and mystery. In the Joshua Pulev fight, I don't really have any suspense, and there's no mystery to me. I say Joshua beats him convincingly and stops him. Like, that's how I see that fight. So
Joshua will jab his head off, and then he will stop him, because Pulev will get to 2-3 rounds. By the end of the 3rd round, Pulev will not be throwing any punches, because he'll be scared of getting hit, and he'll get stopped. I believe Pulev gets stopped. So the thing with Wilder is, I give him the same chance as I gave him before. He has that punch, and he lands it. I give him less of a chance now, because he landed it in the second fight, and nothing happened. So yeah, he landed it 3 times. So nothing happened. So I give him less of a chance, but I still give him that puncher's chance.
Yeah, for sure.
If he does catch him right, then he probably will go. But I don't believe Fury gets caught with it.
He probably will go down, but we've seen Fury get up from it before, so who knows?
He's got up from it twice.
He's showing that he eats porridge. Porridge. I have porridge, and that shit's disgusting.
You don't like porridge?
No, look, first and foremost, listen, Eric, listen. I am American, okay? So when I came over to the UK, I was a teenager. I was like 15. You gotta understand something. We are used to oatmeal, grits, and some people know what I'm talking about, cream of wheat, okay? Those are the things we eat here. When I came there, I thought that porridge was some sort of variation of one of those things. It's not. It's nothing like it. I said, no
Nah.
fucking way, I can't eat this shit, bro. I mean,
Nah, porridge is nice, you know.
huh?
The porridge is nice. That
Oh,
syrup porridge as well.
I love porridge, man. That you know, it's a cultural thing. You know, you gotta be.
Yeah.
Uh, it's definitely a cultural thing. I can't do the porridge, man. I tried. I tried a lot of foods. You know, when I was in Czechoslovakia, we ate fucking snail soup escargot, and we had snake. And I never thought I'd eat those things, but they were pretty good.
Not for me. Snake?
My baby. Yeah.
Was good.
What do you say? Luis Puente says, D, you're a cool cat, bro. But the Knicks.
Yeah.
I know, man. Look, let me tell you something. You know I have to be a fan to admit that I'm a fan of the Knicks. Just to admit that you're a fan of the Knicks, you really have to be a true fan. That's a fact, bro. Because if you know what I mean, I'm a fan of the Knicks. Yes, I am. But you know, it is what it is, bro. Maybe we can get somebody over there with help RJ Barrett out, our Canadian brother. You know what I mean? I can't wait until we get basketball back, bro. Sports in general, basketball,
Sports,
football,
like
oh my God.
It's Saturday tomorrow, and normally every Saturday I have football on. I've not had football on for so long.
It was up to 40 at one point. Y'all, I peaked at like 42. I think that did you watch any? Well, you don't watch American football, but
I do. I watch some of it. I like it, but I don't watch it like.
Anybody? Did any of you guys watch some of the draft yesterday?
I was going to watch it. I actually had it on my phone, but I started watching Black Lightning, and I just switched that off. I was like, "Oh, this is more interesting."
Gunrise I guess Gunrise watch. I didn't watch it all, Gunrise. I was in and out. I was on a couple of lives, but one thing about the draft is you can get every second, every minute, the next day, the next week, the next month. You know what I'm saying? Like that, especially now because there's nothing to report. Do you know how many channels and stations are going to be showing every fucking thing that anybody missed yesterday? Like, bro, that shit. So I wasn't really as pressed as I usually am. And plus, I don't cover football anymore. I was covering football on this channel, but it was too much. So, man, I got enough articles and shit to read concerning boxing and MMA and basketball. And I got to start making videos on those. But it is what it is, you know. So, I guess with Joshua, man, you know, we can move on to another topic. I want to talk about Caleb Plant. You know, Caleb Plant and this whole, you know, throwing his name back in or attempting to throw his name back into the hat for Canelo because that shit's getting rejected. He's not even gonna be thought.
How's he gonna put his name back in when he's already rejected it?
He's called him out, said that he'll fight him.
But you rejected it.
And
you rejected it the first time.
So what? He said he didn't have time, but he said now he ready, this, that, and the third. My thing is like, dude, you should have accepted the opportunity. Look, we would have never been talking about, like, he pretty much had it. It would have been no BJS, Callum Smith talk, all of that other shit. He had to fight. All he had to do was accept and sign. And Oscar De La Hoya told him something really significant. You blew your opportunity, and you're not getting this again. So,
well, my thing is, if you look at it this way, going back to Joshua and Ruiz. Ruiz had only just had a fight not long before, and he took the fight because he was in fighting shape. He took the fight. He didn't take any punishment in that fight. He was fight fit. He was camp fit. He went straight back into a mini camp and then took the Joshua fight. Like, those are chances you've got to take when they've been handed to you, in my opinion. as a challenger fighting, especially when you're fighting the number one guy in the sport, like sometimes you have to take them risks to beat those guys. Because would we be speaking about Andy Ruiz if he had said, "Ah, nah, you know what? I'm not taking the Joshua fight"? No, we wouldn't. Andy Ruiz's name wouldn't be anywhere near the top of the division right now.
All right. Off topic, real quick. Fuck the Cowboys. Go ahead, Eric.
So, Caleb Plant, for me, you just had basically a tick-over fight because you went and stopped the guy. It wasn't a difficult fight. You didn't get injured in that fight. So why not take a couple of weeks off and go back into camp and take the Canelo fight? Because you were already in fit fighting shape.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, look, man. Again, I ain't giving none of these motherfuckers slack. Errol Spence, fuck this 2 fight a year deal, bro. Forget about that, bro. I'm so sick of that in this era, and it's to the point where a lot of these fans accept that nonsense. I think it should be 3 or better. 3 is a slow year, in my opinion. It should be 3 or better, especially for these champs, bro. Y'all should fight at least 3 times a year.
The thing is, the fighters who, like Mayweather was fighting twice a year, it's simply because his fights were so big that the contract negotiations and everything that had to go into just making one fight took so damn long. But these guys aren't at that level. The contracts and negotiations ain't taking that long. You should be fighting at least 3 times a year.
Should be. It's no reason not to. And you got guys in mixed martial arts, like over there in the UFC, fighting 4 or 5 times a year, and they're making pennies, bro. And so don't fucking tell me about weight cutting, and because they do all the same shit that y'all do. Some of them do it even more strenuous, and it's acceptable to knees and elbows, so they're combat athletes, combat participants, just like you guys. So I don't want to hear this bullshit. 75 days when you're coming off of a fight that you breeze through. You didn't take any punishment in that fight against Fitz and Butt.
Especially when guys are stopping guys as well. If you're stopping a guy, then it's not and then you're taking another 6 to 7 months off just to have one more fight. Like, you stop this guy, you should be back in the ring within, say, 3 months. Even if you're not fighting a top guy, you still should be back in the ring. You shouldn't, as fighters, this is what annoys me, because when they're coming up, these fighters, they're fighting maybe 5-6 times a year. And it's no problem. It's no issue when they're coming up. They have not got an issue with it when they're coming up because they want to get the name popping. The moment they get the name popping, they're like, oh, you know what? I'm only fight twice a year. They're like, no, keep fighting.
Exactly. Just like Monster said, there's no reason why every boxer under 30 shouldn't be fighting 4 times a year. Fucking right, bro.
Yep,
fucking right. And I'm with you all the way on that, Monster. Like, bro, get in there and fight. Tevin Farmer, regardless of what you think about him, he showed all of you motherfuckers up. He showed all of you up. And that means all of you. Canelo, Joshua, he showed y'all up in the sense of this is how you do it. He brought Tevin Farmer, and for Tevin Farmer fans, they had that old school feel with Tevin Farmer. That dude was fighting and fighting and fighting. They had that old school feel of fanship if they were fans of Tevin Farmer because he was in the ring, bro. Sometimes you take light touches. Okay, I'm not saying go in there and fight 4 champions a year. I'm not saying
exactly.
But fight a champion, fight 2 light touches, fight another champion or a good fighter. Do that. And that's more impressive. Like 2 light touches, 2 good fights. 2 light touches, 2 good fights. But this twice a year foolishness, man. It's like, and it's a part of the business today. It's not like, one guy or a few of them are doing them. No. That's a part of the business today.
Yep. Most fighters are doing it. You don't see many fighters at the top level fighting 3-4 times a year anymore.
No, you don't see it.
But this is what sort of irritates me, because people are saying these fighters are fighting twice a year and they're getting more money than the fighters who used to fight 4 times a year. These fighters who used to fight 4 times a year didn't even get a fraction of what these guys are getting for 2 fights.
Well, look at Tevin Farmer. He's a perfect example in this era. He's not getting the money that fight per fight that Tank Davis is getting.
No.
But he's
Young
fighting way
fighters at
more than
21,
him.
22, 23 years old. I don't understand why you only fight, because they're the years where you learn a lot in the ring as well. So if you're fighting twice a year, for the rest of the year, you're wasting your time, because you're either, if you're dedicated in gym, you're wasting a lot of time in the gym.
Yeah.
Because you can learn in the gym, but also you need to learn under the lights as well.
Right.
If you're wasting all that talent in the gym, what's the point?
Teofimo Lopez, a lot of people say, oh, the kid's moving fast. And granted, I think, this Lomo fight is early. But with that being said, he's taking on these fights. For Nakatani, he went straight to Kome. And if not for, it's this COVID that's slowing things down, but he was right to Lomo after that. He's taking on these fights. He's taking on this experience early. He's not wasting these years. He's 22 years old. You see what I mean? So, and now he finds himself in a win-win situation. It doesn't matter if he loses to Lomo.
I was just about to say that fight, that just shows a fighter who wants to test himself against the best and prove he's the best, and not worrying about, oh, well, if I lose, this is going to happen. No. If you want to be the best, then fight the best at the time. Because if you go on, I'm not ready for Loma. Then Loma's like, in 2 years' time, Loma's like, right, I've got a couple of fights left. Then you go and fight him and you beat him. Everyone's going to be like, well, you only beat him because he was on his way out now.
Right. It doesn't matter. At least he's trying. And look, and let me tell you
now. I would rather you try now and fail than wait 2 years and then go beat a fighter who's a fraction of themselves.
Right. And let me tell you something too. Go watch the video I put out on Teofimo. It's real quick. It's like 3 minutes or something, but it's Teofimo the takeover video, right? He said in that video, he said, "Oh no, I know I'm gonna win." So it ain't like he's not going in there with that mindset. He's going in there with the mindset that he's gonna beat Loma ass. Now I don't agree.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what you need. So this kid is about the gusto, bro, and he's proven it. The only slip, and I flamed him. I got a video out flaming my boy for it, was when he made that comment about no more tall fighters after he fought Nakatani. No, I got a flame for that. And that was the only knock that I have on Teofimo himself. His dad is a fucking idiot. Okay, so I will say that. Teofimo's father, you idiot. Okay, that goes out to him. But Teofimo, this kid, man, I didn't like that comment, but outside of that, I have no complaints about this kid. This kid displays confidence. He's very underrated, because I say that he's underrated because people don't pay attention to what this kid does in the ring. These knockouts are not athletic knockouts. He's setting these guys up for these knockouts. And I keep telling people this, and I've broken it down to some people, and then they're like, oh, yeah, I see. But he's setting these knockouts up, bro. It's the recognition. He's capitalizing off of guys' movements, and he's figuring out those movements by these body shots, these feints that he throws. He's figuring out these movements. But what makes him so special is how quickly he figures out this stuff. Yep. And that's what people are not paying attention to. So he figures it out. He figures out what it's going to take for these guys to move in a certain way, and he sets them up for these knockouts. This is what Teofimo is doing. And eventually people are going to catch on. That's why I say he's so special. You know what I mean? And I've been advocating for this kid since before anybody I know on this motherfucking YouTube. Long time ago when I was with He Knows His Sports. Me and him used to get into it all the time about Teofimo. I've been advocating for Teofimo.
So who have you got as face of boxing right now?
Canelo.
Exactly right. I knew you were going to say that. Right. So look at Canelo's record. He's got a loss on his record and 2 draws, right?
Right.
And he's still the face of boxing. These young fighters need to stop worrying about and fight the best fighters, because that don't mean shit if you are going in the ring. Once you've lost, if you're still going in the ring and producing what you're producing and what you can do, and still beating better fighters and good fighters, if you lose to a better man, then you lose to a better man. But your stock doesn't drop unless you focus on that too much. That's only when your stock drops. Like Wilder's stock, it will drop because he focused on being undefeated.
Right. Right.
Like
And
if go on, sorry.
no, go ahead. No, I want you to finish.
No, I'm just saying, like, if Canelo didn't fight Floyd, would his career would he been as known as he is now? No. He went in, he fought Floyd, he got beat up, he got a boxing lesson. Let's be honest, but he learned so much from that because the traits he uses now, he took a lot of those traits from Floyd.
Yeah, and he's associated with Floyd's name. And
Yep.
Floyd's name, vice versa, associated with him because of it. And when you attach yourself to a boxing great and you go on to win and win and win, then that's going to put you in the line of greatness. And that's what Canelo did. He attached his name to a boxing great. One of those fucking judges made the fight a draw. And even though it was bullshit, and everybody knows it was bullshit, that's still something to talk about that fight with who? Canelo. It attaches his name to Floyd Mayweather. The way he emulates some of the things that Floyd did in the ring attaches his name to Floyd Mayweather. When you're attaching your name to, I don't say the best welterweight, but he's definitely top 10 welterweight of all time. That's what you attach your name to. So, yeah, by far, I mean, not by far, because I think Joshua was nipping at his heels, but for right now, Canelo is the face of boxing.
Yeah, exactly. And these fight like Tio was doing exactly. He's following that same sort of blueprint. You fight a legend, a soon-to-be Hall of Famer, a guaranteed Hall of Famer. You attaching it. If you beat him, then that's great for your career. Unbelievable. If you lose, you still learn. You learn what it takes to be at that level and to be in the ring with somebody like that. So then when you go and fight someone,
back off of that though, because Canelo bounced back like a warrior, and he kept fighting.
That's what I mean. You can bounce back from that.
He was only a year older too, so people forget that Canelo started his pro career at 15, going on 16 years old. He was 23 years old, so he was only a year older than Teofimo is right now. He was 23 when he fought Floyd. Teofimo was 22, so he's only a year older. And the age difference is very similar between Floyd and Loma and Tio and Canelo and that shit. The gap is similar. Everything's similar. And I think though that Teofimo has a better chance to beat Lomachenko than Canelo.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Floyd. I don't think Canelo had as good a chance to beat Floyd Mayweather at that time. Teofimo has a better chance of beating Lomachenko than Canelo.
I think Tio is better now than what Canelo was at his age and then.
Yeah. He was too green for Floyd. Floyd was just too fucking smart. And as much as people like to talk about it, let's be real. Fucking Lomachenko ain't no damn Floyd Mayweather. He
no.
ahead of people in this era, the way Floyd was ahead of people in his era, but Lomachenko ain't no damn Mayweather. So Teofimo has a better shot at beating him. I edged Lomachenko in the fight, even though Teofimo is my guy. I mean, I think it's tall order.
I edge Loma. I have it a 50-50 fight, but I edge Loma. If I had to pick,
Kyle, what's up, fam? I see you step in the building. What's up, J. Kyle? You said the Pats have dominated the NFL so far this century. Well, let's say maybe the past couple of decades, but you can't say century, bro. Well, I don't know. It's a good argument for that, Jed, because they did get their 6th title. But yeah, bro. I don't know, man. It's just hard for me to pick. Like, I'm gonna do more film. Like, the fight's not here, so I just haven't done as much film on it. I have done no film on the fight. Just going off of, I know enough about Teofimo, so I don't have to do very much film on him. I know a lot about Loma, but I'm no Loma fan. So unless it was like in the prediction league, which if it's a Loma fight, it's pretty easy, right? So I never really had to do film on Lomachenko. But this fight, I'm gonna do some film on and see just what the odds of my boy winning. Off the top of the head, I gotta edge Lomachenko. I mean, I know what Teofimo can do, but I know what Loma can do. And my thing is, can Teofimo figure that puzzle out? And I'm not sure that he can. I'm not sure that he has enough experience to figure out that.
Exactly. Timing is everything.
Puzzle.
Timing is everything. He might have well have caught Loma at the right time. We don't know.
The right time and the right weight. Yep.
We don't know because, let's be honest, Loma isn't a 135 fighter.
It's a tough weight for Lomachenko.
Yep.
Dio Bali said, nah, let's rewrite history. People have Canelo a good chance. He was a champ, had over 40 fights when he had over, but against who, bro? He had some decent fights. But I mean, yeah. So I mean,
yeah, people is always going to pick Canelo. There's going to be people picking him at that point, but if you look at career-wise, like the majority was picking Floyd to beat him.
Yeah, that's my beautiful wife, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
So, hey, Dio Bali, you can come chat about it, bro. We'll drop that link in the chat for you. I don't kind of break that down for us, to save you a lot of typing in the chat, but I don't think that I can't say that Canelo had a better chance. I really can't say that. One thing about this, Lomachenko, okay, so let's be honest about this. And I'm a big Floyd fan. I was a big Floyd fan when he was boxing. I'm not a fan of anything about him now, but when he was boxing.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, but when he was boxing, I was a fan of his. But let's be perfectly honest about it. Lomachenko is fighting all smoke. Think about it. These fights at 135 are dangerous for him. Floyd was fighting strategic fights that he pretty much knew he was going to win. Loma ain't doing that. Loma don't, he feels that he's better than these guys, but this is nothing strategic. He's just fighting fight after fight after fight. So
he's fighting the best in the division.
Right. So when you look at what Floyd was doing and his mental and what he brought to the table, bro, he pretty much knew he was going to beat Canelo. This is why I say that Canelo had less of a chance of beating Floyd. Floyd was that much superior to Canelo, and he knew that he was going to beat him. That's why he picked the fight. That's why he picked the catch weight. He put him under the gun, all of these things. So Canelo was thrown in a situation where he was at a fucking catch weight that even more so decreased his chances of beating Floyd Mayweather. Teofimo has the advantage when it comes to weight in this situation. Floyd had the advantage when it came to weight back then. So Canelo was up under the gun more, and just simply he had more adversity than Teofimo. I think they both had equal adversity when it comes to the level of competitor, because they were that much better than them skill-wise. Floyd was that much better than Canelo skill-wise, and Lomo's that much better than Teofimo skill-wise. So in that aspect, that was pretty much the same adversity. But then look at all of the other bullshit that Floyd threw in the game. The catch weight and all of that shit for Canelo. He had to go through that, right? So, nah, man. Canelo had less of a chance of winning that fight against Floyd. Teofimo, just, he's way bigger than Lomachenko. He's probably the most powerful fighter Lomo's faced to this point. No one that Lomo's boxed to this point hits harder than Teofimo Lopez. You couldn't say that about Canelo Alvarez back then versus Floyd Mayweather. He fought guys that hit harder than Canelo Alvarez. So it just was more of an uphill battle for Canelo than Teofimo, in my opinion.
That was a brilliant breakdown. Fantastic.
Like, thank you, sir.
That was brilliant. I was just listening. I was like, damn. Point after point after point. No, you're right. You're right. In this fight, Loma doesn't have everything his way. He has the skill. Yeah. Skill for skill, he has that going his way. But as in weight, punching power, youth, Teo has all of that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. So um I think that I might end this one early, guys. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do today is Friday, right? Kevin was
Yep.
asking if I'm gonna do another live. I'm getting ready to set up the D roast tonight. We're gonna do that shit. The D Jefferson roast session. So y'all get all y'all shit together. I think I want to do that one tonight because I said I was going to do it this week. I want to laugh, bro. I want to have a good time tonight. So y'all get it all together. I'm 5'6", 137 pounds, and y'all know the rest. So bring on the jokes. I've been hearing them all week. Yeah, we're gonna do
All right,
that.
D.
But give me
Well, I'm gonna jump on tonight.
Eric. Before you go, give me some closing thoughts about these topics.
Well, I just hope somehow the undisputed fight does happen after Fury Wilder and Joshua Pulev. Hopefully, we can get that. Hopefully, boxing, because of this pandemic, hopefully they force it through just to give us that big fight.
Right. Dana White's giving us hope, man, because he's still trying
I know, but we can hope. We can still hope.
Like, I'm always rooting for Dana White because the first time he gets something to go through, you know that's going to be big for all combat sports. So
yeah. So hopefully that can happen, and I'll jump on tonight. I'll jump on the roast.
All right, I'll do it. Yeah, man, get your jokes together, everybody. I Buy Houses, Samuel Shaw, Tim Dub, and Boxing Monster. They already prepared. Those motherfuckers is always roasting me every day on a daily basis. So I know they already ready. Get this smoke. I'm pretty sure you are gonna be ready for this. That give you a chance to get off on old D Jeff, you know what I mean? But yeah, guys, we're gonna do that later. D Jefferson roast tonight. Gonna have a good time with that. Y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.